think it's morning. I'm going to try and trim this off. I'm not going to take it right back to the line. I'll finish it off with my sanding wheel. For some reason this saw blade seems to not be cutting very well. I've got a spare, so let's try it. Let's try it with a different blade and see if it's the blade that's gone blunt. Well, I asked on the previous video for some suggestions how to hold the hatches in. And as I've said in my reply, and if you looked on the site you'll have seen my reply. I did an awful lot of error modelling, and why is this not? Saw works back to front. Weird. Yeah, so as I said, I do an awful lot of air modelling, and of course the one way we hold the hatches in is with magnets, and I just happen to have a box full of neodymium magnets in varying sizes. Let me just try and show you. Here they are. I've had these for quite a few years, and you can see they're all stuck together, but look at, some of them are really quite small. There's 20 magnets in that little bag. Can you see it? There's the size of my thumbnail beside it. So there's 20 magnets there. I've got them in various sizes and degrees. Some of them with holes in the middle, so you can put a screw through. Most of them are just held in with a little bit of either epoxy resin or cyano. But yeah, when I get this hatch out, when I get this cut out done, we'll see what we can do. So you can see a couple of bits broke off, but I'm going to leave those until I've got the rest of it done. Before I colour it and varnish it, whatever, I'll put those bits in and I'll cut them more accurately. They're on the edges, so they get supported by a new piece which goes in here. So I'm just making the hole for the mast, as you can see. Remember a few stages back when we did the big rings, we also made a second ring to go up here. So as long as I get it fairly close to 8mm, it can go a little bit over, obviously. Well, it needs to go a little bit over. Can't go under it. If it goes under, the mast will never go in. Okay, what I'm going to try and do is file it out. Now, that file's no good, that's a square file. My round file is in the drawer. So let's get the round file out and see what we can do with that. you can't be too aggressive with it. Sorry, I'm talking over the file. You can't be too aggressive with it because there is stuff underneath. That's what you got. You can see the wood's not that hard. Isn't it amazing how you find wood that isn't stuck, Nick? Okay, leave this with me and I'll come back to you. On and cut out the hole over the captain's cabin, the hole for the mast. If you remember, I put that little collet thing on the next deck down. When I came to pass the mast through to check the alignment, it had moved. It had slid over this way, so I had to reposition it and glue it in. Hopefully it's stuck in now, which I can test. I can just poke it, see if it moves. If it doesn't move, it's secure. I think it's secure. Right. Anyway, I carried on, sanded the deck, put the supports on. Remember all the fuss about making the length of the gunnels on the side. Then you go and add another centimetre or so to it to line up with the front of this deck, which is quite strange, but there you go, I've done it. It'll probably need a little bit of trimming off both sides from what I can see there. So the inside lining is installed, that's got the set. Now it'll get sanded to shape with the rest of it so that it matches the hull, and then it gets painted, and then we have to mark up the planking, same as on here, and we'll see where we go from there. I can put this mast back in the box now. Okay, gonna have a break, wait for this to set up, and then we can move on to the next stage. A little bit of time to settle down. Hopefully it's all sticked. Oh, something's sticked in there. It's Murphy's Law again. Look, plastic stuck to the wood. Now I've got to try and get that bit of plastic out. It's not so bad pulling the plastic out, but it always leaves a bit behind, and you end up having to either cut it off the wood or sand the wood down to get rid of it. It's a bit of a nuisance, so that's why I tend to just take the little plastic bits off those clips. And you see I'm going to throw that down with a now I've got to try and get the edges level with the outside edges. It's amazing. That's going to need a little bit of filler on it just there. Oh, where's that one gone? Didn't I do that? Pretty sure I did. Pretty sure there was one in there. Did I do it or did I miss it? Now it got me thinking. Oh, there's the wood, so yeah, it was probably on and it's come off. Yeah, it was on. Okay, what I can see is I take some of this paint off sitting on the top edge. Probably stick it in again. Trying to get one that sits at the right angle for the wood. There's a bit. There we go, that's better. Put it in the right place. So I'm feeling my finger for how smooth it's going to be, so I've got all the less to rub down. Yeah, put an extra bit of glue in that, just to wick some glue in there. There we go. Now then, gotta try and rub these. Oh, I think I'll just use my saw blade, my sander to smooth them off. Now, the inside of these have to be painted with the red, internal red, and the outside of these are painted with the external red. So there's a little bit of rubbing down to do, and then some painting. So I'll get the rubbing down done. I'll come back to you. You can see it's masked, painted, sanded to the right shape, so it matches all the way, which is what you want. I'll let that set. Probably that's it for today. I've got to mark the decks next, and then like this deck I'll be varnishing this one so it matches up colour wise. That'll be done probably in the morning. Okay, that's me for today. I shall see you on the next one. Not the next one, the next section. A few seconds for you overnight for me. Okay, just a quick progress report. You can see I've stained the rear deck with the oak varnish. I've marked out the planks. Just waiting for all that to set. Oh, I painted the sides as well, which you can see. I just carried on and did this. It was too awkward to set the camera up and then paint underneath the camera. So the edges, which will go on here and on here, are painted on the workbench at the moment. They're setting. So when everything's dried, I'll come back and install them. I'll probably film that for you. These two little marks you can see here, that's 13 mils back from the centre of the mast, which is where the pin rail will go eventually, and you won't really see that mark. So it's funny, you can hardly see it as it is, but the camera picks it up very clearly. Okay, I'll be back in a few seconds. This is actually making up some staircases, and the staircases are made up from these 4 parts here and these lots of parts down here. So as usual, the first part is to separate the wood from the wood. And then tidy it up, and we'll paint it before we move on to the next phase. These phases I'm coming into now, a lot of it is glue some bits together, paint them, wait for them to set, put them on the ship, and that's what we'll be doing here. So it may seem a bit boring to the average viewer. I'm not saying any of you guys are average. But yeah, the layman that comes by and views what's going on. Oh, it's all repetitive, this model building. Yes, it is. But look at the finished result. And of course there's the personal satisfaction of having done the job. Okay, that's the banisters. Let's do the steps now. This could be even funnier, I think. Oh yeah, they are. I was going to say, I bet they're not passing down the sides, but they are. If you don't know what I mean, I'm talking about these bits here. It's a real test on your eyes, I can assure you. It doesn't look like everyone's got a connection point. A lot of them do, but not all of them. So, yeah, it's pretty good. One set of steps and there. There's one there. There we go. There's the steps. And there's the handrails. Okay, let me tidy them all up. Then we'll get round to painting them. Be back in a sec. Back. I carried on and made these 2 sets of stairs yesterday, and I filled up the bits on the side. So I've just got to clean them up a bit and then get another coat of paint. But I'll do that after I've done this little railing which gets put in. As you can hear, I haven't got rid of my cold yet. It's really dragging on, it's getting me on the joke now. Biggest thing here is trying to clean off the edges. Yeah, it's not too bad. Now that will be given another coat of paint and varnish, but I'll leave that until I've made this little fence that I've got to make, which will go on the front of the top deck, and then the steps will be butted up against that. So I'll make the railing the same as I did before, mark up my cutter for, I think I'm not sure if it's 13 or 15 mil, I'll check it before I do it, obviously. To make the tops rounded like I did before, and then we'll make a little fence, and it should look quite smart. I mean, this is looking quite smart as it is, but so. It's amazing. I was very careful putting the filler on that. Only put it near these holes. Obviously you do get some layover. There we are. They're done. So I shall carry on, make my little fence, put my 13 or 15 mil marker in wherever it has to go, and cut 9 identical pieces. So I'll come back to you when I've got the fence done. Got a few things done, and I'm back to install them on the ship. So this handrail, not a handrail, a safety rail I suppose. I just got to count it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and number 5 on the centre line there. So that's easy to position. Once that's in position, we'll pop the rest of it down and just glue it in. So we put a bit of glue on that. Give it double security. I'll put glue on all of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 on the centre line, which is there. Make sure it stays inside the handrail. I've already positioned. I call it a handrail. It's like a decoration rail, this one, but there you go. A little bit of sand on there, and it's good to go. Just like that. Now the next one is this one, which I've got to make a couple of little pegs for, remember? So I put a mark here where that's where the front of it has to be. So bear with me while I position myself above it. So 1, 2, 3, 3 either side, 6 pegs on it. 6 either side, so that's here, here. Got to be able to see my pencil marks, which I can't at the moment. Okay. Okay, that one's there, that one. To make it so it's straight. Okay, so one little hole. And one. Now if we got it right, those pegs should just drop into the holes, just an extra security. We'll check that they work first. We'll put glue on. You've got to make sure you get it straight in there. So there we go. That lines up with the line that I've got. Okay, just pop it out a little bit. Take it all the way out. Now Murphy's Law says that Okay, just because you went in once means you're going again. Told you. There it is, it's in. And that's that in position. Now, you see I've got this position ready to go in there. Here's my mast. Let's see if I can put it down. Oh yeah, there it goes. In position. Yeah, up in position. And then we slide that down the mast itself, and that's where it's going to go. So, a little spidgy glue on the deck. Be careful you don't secure the mast at this stage. I think we're alright. Let's get the peg in position, hold it. That's that. Right guys, the only bit left to install on this rear deck is this thing here, which goes above the captain's cabin. I've got it on the bench, setting at the moment. Oh, I did forget something. The most important things. Yeah, I'm going to put these. I'm going to put another coat of oak varnish onto these steps before I stick them in. So I'll do that, and I'll come back to you in a few seconds. As you can see, they're nicely varnished. So all I've got to do is find the position for them, which is, I think, somewhere about there, like that. Make sure the fronts and the bottoms all match up. Bring it to me a bit, there you go. There. That's where I want it. Right, so we want some glue on here. And on the feet. And that's it. So just like that. Very straightforward. And then the same for the other side. Try not to get the steps around the cannon wires. Oh, it's not been in the right position, is it? Be up a bit, like about there. Okay, this is what happens. It sticks to the cannon. So I'll just right, should be at this time. So make sure it misses the cannon, which it has. Here we are, the 2 steps in position. Okay, I'm preparing this piece at the moment. It has to have a surround put on it. I'm trying to get this part finished before I finish today's video, and that will be leading on then to the next phase, which is this back end, which would be a nice place to start the next video and get this one finished with this piece done. These steps look quite good in position. I'm quite pleased with that. So I've got the piece here ready to have its surround put on it. It's going to sit across there like that, and we'll get the surround put on it, and we'll see how it goes from there. I guess that gets stuck in there, but it doesn't show me that. I guess it'll have to be. Okay, I'll let this all set up and I'll come back to you. It's just to show you that I've put the hatch in position. I've probably knocked a little bit of black paint off the top, which I'll just touch up. There I have the lights on. You can see that shines through. This light here is the one which is lighting up the deck underneath. It's amazing, isn't it? It's the same at the front. The two at the front that will shine at the front, they shine through the deck. They all do. So, okay, the next bit is some painting, which will be on the bench. I'll be there in a second. It's done on this today because it has about 5 stages of painting. These, I don't know if you can recognise it, but it's for the back end of the ship. Let me bring it back into the focal light camera. So first of all, it has to be painted with this base colour, which is, they say number 40, which is, that's 41, that's no good. 40 buff, that's the colour to paint it with. So paint it buff. Looks like I painted a few buff things already, so I wonder if it's possible to knock the old paint out of this. These little trays must be getting quite used to being used up by now. Okay, give the paint a good mix up first. A very strange colour to start with is buff, and then you use that dark red leather thinned down, use that on top of it, and then on top of that you put oak varnish. It's a bit strange. Oh no, the one that goes on top of this is a watered down cocoa colour. It's not the dark brown leather. The dark brown leather is the outline for the windows. That'll come, I don't know when that will come, it'll be a few days yet. Let me get a sheet of paper to put this on. I've got plenty of sheets of paper floating about. I've got a few out. Probably the great thing about having a laser printer that sometimes decides to do its own thing is you get loads of sheets of paper with these funny characters on. Okay, let's get a good brush to do this with. I think it's over here, this one. Nice thick brush. Make sure it's still flexible. Greatest of brushes, I don't think. I think I'm going to have to invest in some new paint brushes. Right, let's see how this does. Oh, that goes on okay. The great thing with this paint is it does thin itself out after it's applied. The thing is, on this brass, I never know if I should wash it down first. You don't get any instructions as to what to do with it, but my feeling is Well, let's wait and see. If this paint takes, then I don't need to worry about it. But if it doesn't, then I think the obvious thing to do is to wipe the brass down, probably with some, well, I've got some denatured alcohol. Can't be dehydrated, it wouldn't be liquid anymore. I've got some denatured alcohol, which is ideal for cleaning metal, which is going to be painted. So we'll carry on with this and we'll see how it gets on. Now, if you want to know how I decide which is the outside and which is the inside of this brass, the other side is flat. It's not etched at all. It's just pure flat brass. So all the etching is on this side. You have to make a decision as to which side is going to be the outside and which side is going to be the glued side. So this is going to be allowed to set overnight, and then tomorrow we'll give it its coat of cocoa brown and then the oak varnish. I always thought these were going to be golden. Why did I think that? Because in those days I thought most ships were trimmed in gold. It showed the importance of the ruler whose ships they were. Obviously not. I'm still looking for any information, if anybody's got any, on the ship or any other ship from the Napoleonic Wars. This obviously fought at Trafalgar on the side of the Spanish/French against Nelson. Was it defeated by Nelson, the ship? Did it manage to escape? Was it captured? What? Anybody know? Was it sunk? I'm sure somebody knows the history of the Spanish fleet. If anybody responds in Spanish, I have a basic knowledge of Spanish, so what I don't understand goes into Google Translate. And failing that, I get my son to translate it. So. Mind you, I think all my kids can speak Spanish. So, you can see it, sometimes the paint doesn't actually take straight away and you have to go back over it, so maybe it does need to be cleaned before it's used. Again, if anybody knows, comment please. Anyway guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you like what I'm doing and you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing. Feel free to like, share. If you dislike, then please tell me why you dislike. Otherwise I can't improve it. Yeah, so like, share, comment in particular, that's the greatest thing. And we'll see you on the next one.